What's up guys, Joe Holland here. We're going to do a gear review today on my ice auger. This here is a Strikemaster Lazer Mag Lightweight series, 2 horsepower. It's the Lazer Mag Xpress series. I've had this thing maybe somewhere in between 10 to 15 years. Absolute great motor, powered by a Tecumseh. That's that Tecumseh 2 horse. There's really not much I could say about the thing other than it's a really good workhorse of an auger. It cuts fast enough. It's probably not the fastest auger, but it's not slow. It's not the lightest auger on the market, but it's not really that heavy. It's just an all-around great auger that, you know, just does the job. Workhorse, starts every time I pull it, and pretty easy to run and pretty easy to keep running. Let's see how it works. There you have it. It's going through about 10 inches of ice there. Cuts pretty quick. It's not too heavy. I'll guess in the 30-pound range. Holds maybe a half gallon of gas right there. Couple, you know, one really cool thing that it has is this decompression valve right there. So when you go to start it, it makes it a heck of a lot easier to start and pull with that 2 horsepower motor if you just push that in. So what it looks like when it's out like that, it's got full compression when it's out like that. When you push it in, it's a lot easier to pull. It's like a decompression, so you could pull it out. You can pull it out that easy, you know, with basically just 2 fingers. So that's a pretty cool feature. Another cool feature about this auger is it comes apart, so you can take the head off. You can take the motor right off of the actual auger attachment with just 1 bolt. It's right here underneath the motor, and the cool thing is it's an Allen wrench that you take it off with, and comes with an Allen wrench that's underneath your throttle. So it's mounted right there. The only problems I've really had with this thing are this will break off your on-off switch. That's broken off on me once before. It's just a cheap little toggle switch that kind of hangs out there. And then the other thing is the vent on the fuel cap. That'll break off too. Both are broken off right now. They've been off most of the year. And the auger, I still run it the way it is. You know, you could control the on and off with that decompression valve. You just push it in when it's running. That'll shut off the motor. Or you could choke it out, but I prefer just to push that in. It's a quick shut off, and until I get the toggle switch repaired. But as far as starting the thing, it starts super easy. Bitter cold days, I've run this thing at 38 below zero without the wind chill, you know, and it takes maybe 3 to 5 pulls choked out on days like that. Regular day ice fishing, let's say the air temp somewhere in between 10 and 20, then usually I'll just choke it and give it 1 or 2 pulls and it starts, and then take the choke off and run the thing. It's pretty amazing, these little tiny motors, how strong they could be. One thing I really like about this auger is the power it has to finish a cut. You know, it very rarely ever bogs down halfway down through a cut, which you do see a lot of augers on the market do that. They'll bog down. So I like the power, I like the speed of it. All in all, just a really good, solid auger. You know, I'm super happy with it. I know there's a lot of new stuff on the market in the last 10 to 15 years since I've owned this one. And you know, I know there's a lot of new stuff and better stuff on the market. But, you know, this one cuts excellent. It always starts, and it's just a great gas-powered ice auger. As you can see, I'm pretty rough on this auger. I have been for years. You know, it gets towed behind a snowmobile, towed behind a 4-wheeler, gets thrown in the back of a pickup truck, gets thrown in a jet sled and dragged around under really harsh conditions. And you start it up and you run at full speed, you know, in the cold weather, and then you let it cool off and then you do it again. It's probably like the worst conditions you could ever have for any kind of motor or piece of equipment. The thing's, like I said, somewhere in the range of 10 to 15 years old, and it still runs like a top. It's just an awesome auger. So I have really nothing to say bad about this auger. I've really been impressed with this over the years. I've been looking at some of the new stuff like the 4-strokes, the propanes, and the battery, the handheld battery, and even the lithium-ion augers. But man, there's really no need to change up. This thing's been pretty awesome for me.